Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of the history, documentation, and overview of my 1979 pace car. I'm really excited to show you what I have in store for this video. There's a lot of good documentation here, even better than the previous video. So if you like what you see, please feel free to like, comment down below, as well as subscribe. It's free, I really appreciate it, helps me out a lot. And look forward to more pace car content, as well as my 2003 Terminator Cobra coming soon this summer. And then this is an official lap certification. I think you could buy and take this, yeah, because this gentleman was the driver of this car in the 90s to get that certification, which is pretty cool. So it has been on the track. Copy of the title from Oklahoma with the inspection tag, Oklahoma Tax Commissions. So this was the car in February of 1993. So this was the car in February of 1993. Just a couple of Polaroids there. So it looks like it had different wheels at one time. Excuse me. Just more purchasing information of the car. Looks like it was at a car show or two. Okay, so here's the original 500 Festival Queen's Ball pamphlet there. So now this is a sweet picture. I need to get this framed. This is the start of the 1979 Indy 500 with a couple of pace cars strung about. So yeah, 79 pace lap. Cool stuff there. Let's see if I can get, yeah, there you go. I should start putting this in my plastic folders there. Can do that after. Now this is a cool letter. So this is dated October 5th, 1979. Mr. Jerry D. Indianapolis, Indiana. Dear Jerry, this was written from Galen, by the way. Dear Jerry, I just want to take this time in expressing my total thanks for the time you have spent in acquiring the pace car. The whole family really fell in love with it, and I'm sure we will get much enjoyment out of it down through the years. As to the letter you asked me to dictate that is to be presented to Speedway so I could receive confirmation as to the originality of the car that I have, I believe all that is required would be as I have outlined in the enclosed letter over Speedway letterhead. I will appreciate receiving this in the very near future. Again, Jerry, many thanks. Sincerely, Galen. So this is a letter. The stapled piece is a letter from the Speedway to Galen, and it says, "To whom this may concern, this is to verify that the 1979 Mustang, barring the serial number of 9F9 3F4 80040, was one of the original pace cars that participated in the festivities of the 500-mile race held May 1979. The number assigned to this pace car is number 23. Sincerely, Indianapolis Speedway." See if we can get a good look at that. Yep, that is some cool stuff. That's probably my favorite letter out of here. some receipts that were worked on the car. Scratch on front bumper, stripes replaced. I mean, typical stuff. More work in mid '96. So yeah, Jerry purchased the car from Ford, I believe, then sold it to Mr. Galen, and then John, who took a majority of these pictures and notes from what I can understand, then sold the car to a gentleman named Doc in Pennsylvania. John was also located in Pennsylvania. And then I believe Doc sold it to the gentleman that I purchased it from. So if you exclude Ford as an owner, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am the 6th owner of the car. So this is Indy Pace Car Registry of 1979 Mustangs, dated 1991. I still have yet to get in contact with these folks. I haven't done so yet, but I'd be curious to see if the registry is still basically if I still have an account, you know, since this car is still tied to something. Just more handwritten letters, and again, envelopes strung about with handwritten notes, things of that nature. Window sticker. I believe I have the original window sticker. Yeah, I do. Just a copy of that. Copy of another registry folder. Another copy of the title. So this is pretty sweet. This is a badge, 1979 Mechanics Party, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So this must have been some sort of fancy shindig they had prior to the Indy 500 in 1979 to get in as somebody, which is pretty awesome to have the original tag for it. A brochure from 1979. Check that out. That is some cool stuff right there. Got your Cobra graphics. Nice little cutaway of the car. Sweet stuff. Okay, so this is all right, so this is the lineage of the car right here. Let's see. This is for my specific car. So we'll start on the back because I think, yes, all right. So Ford Motor Company, car sold to Indy 500 as a festival car. And this is where I had found out who this car was assigned to specifically, which was Penny DeMoss, as you can see here. Now, a lot of people might say, you know, this isn't valid as a handwritten note, but I did clarify with Penny herself. She said, yep, I remember the car. That was pretty awesome. So, car got delivered via Paul Harvey Ford Sales in Lafayette Road in Indianapolis on April 17th, 1979. So again, Mustang Day. Miss Jerry purchased the car from Ford on June 13th, 1979, who then sold it to Galen in October of that year. Then Galen moved from Kansas to Oklahoma and then sold it to a gentleman named Mr. Henson, so Perry it looks like, who also lived in Oklahoma. And then looks like this gentleman, Mr. Mansell, purchased the car from Perry and drove it from Oklahoma to Wilmington, PA. Yeah, car purchased 4/29/1993 for $3,995. Mileage 78,436 miles. Car driven from Tulsa, Oklahoma to New Wilmington, PA, May 12, 1993. Speedometer reading on arrival was 79,560. So without all of this, I mean, you would not be able to replicate this information. It's pretty awesome. 1983 Mopar accessories. Get you some. Looks like this is a scratch of the buck tag on the car. Might be hard to see. It's kind of hard to see in person, but maybe you can make it out. Copy of that title for the car in Oklahoma. Another title for Oklahoma. So this is a slew of handwritten notes of just not every, but a ton of pace cars, replicas, serial numbers, mileage, dates, owners. So again, if you feel free to comment down below with your pace car VIN number, and maybe we can track down who owned your car prior to you or prior to somebody, because there's all sorts of VIN numbers on here. Let's see, he has them numbered. So it looks like, yeah, these are all numbered. So I think there's like about 20 of them, and there's more pace car. Yes, so as you can see down here, it says Larry Wilcox, oops, it says Larry Wilcox from Chips, and then Penny DeMoss is also underneath there. So I actually asked Penny about this situation. I was like, did you ever ride in the car with Larry Wilcox? And she said, actually, yes. During the festivities, we rode together to some event, and she was just as amazed as I was that, you know, I had record of it somehow. Kind of creepy, honestly. Get to that in a second, but here's a cool sticker from Jerry to Galen back in the day. Let's see. Keep that. Hold on one moment. Some tune-up stuff, things of that nature. Oh, looks like somebody drove it to the University of Arkansas. Oh, bill of sale from Perry to John. Paid cashier's check. Cool. That's funny. Let's see. Jerry wrote a letter to Galen and said, "Dear Galen, I have not yet had a chance to get your letter you requested," which is probably the yellow one that we read at the beginning about the authenticity of the car. And there was a sticker. Thought you might want to keep it with the pace car, which was the one I just showed you. So this news release is pretty awesome. This is actually from Ford in 1979, and it just talks about the history of the Mustang, the Indy 500 in general, basically why the Mustang was chosen. This is something that any Ford enthusiast, Indy 500 enthusiast, pace car enthusiast, they need to read that. If it's not publicized, we can figure something out. So here's the original registration of the car from Ford. And as you can see, VIN number is right there. And it bears plate number 23, 1979 Ford Mustang ending in 0040, bearing plate number 23 from the original inspection of the car. So these are the stickers that would be on the windshield towards the top, just basically saying, you know, hey, this car is bearing someone and somebody. Those are cool. Some sort of data from Ford about the car. All right, the original window sticker So that is some awesome stuff right there. That is cool. Let's see if I can get you in closer here. I mean, history just in front of our eyes. So this is really neat. This is this was in a letter from State Farm, so that was just an envelope he used. What does this say? So this says, Dear John, or Dr. John, Dear, it's Dear, DR, period. It's abbreviated. Thank you for the photos and information. Enclosed, you will find a copy of the 79 pace car information that you gave me. Check it for accuracy or any information you think needs to be added. You can call me at work anytime. I've not gotten hold of my contact at Indianapolis about delivery of the pace cars. He has been on a leave of absence for 2 months. His father is very sick in Florida. I have left messages about delivering the pace cars. Thanks again, Jim Hanston. And I have his phone number. So here's the list that this guy typed up of the festival cars and their specific number. You can see 23 there is 480040, which is my vehicle. Stick this back in. Just some old copies of pace car stuff, more registry information, copy of that registration. So here is the flight ticket that this guy took to pick up the car in Oklahoma, as well as the tag of inspection or registration for the car in Oklahoma from the previous owner. Looks like so their flights were $224. That's actually, I mean, that's for being, let's see, what day was this? For being 1993, I mean, that's a good price today, but still, like, I'd expect it to be a lot less because things have just shot up so much since. And then turnpike tickets, more cool pictures at the races in 1979. You can see the badges on the front of the car with the name of the celebrity it was assigned to. That one says Marvin Johnson. Some awesome candid photos. The things that photos capture, it's pretty crazy. More of the, not the same, but, you know, somewhat the same. Cars at the 79 race. So here's another news release specific to the 79 pace cars about the Indy 500. Basically, the tagline is, a Mustang convertible placed the 500 just 6 weeks after we introduced the Mustang in 1964. Then goes down a little farther. The 79 model year ushered in an all-new breed of Mustang, and the pace car carries the nameplate's trend-setting tradition a step further with styling advances that will be picked up in future model years, which is true. The lifeblood of the SN95 was a derivative of the Fox body. Here is some of the pace car media information with some sweet pictures. trying to make it to be a fast car. I think it had 130 some horsepower. But I mean, this is the actual pace car, so it was modified. There's the pace car with the older generation. Got the jackets. I actually bought one of these jackets from eBay, and I'm gonna put it in a frame. It's in excellent condition. Now this is what I want to find. I want to find one of these little pace car go-karts. That would be amazing to have alongside with my actual pace car for my son. That would be incredible. Let's see, moving on here. Looks like a quilt lined jacket was $22 back in the day. Oh, there's pace car caps too. That would be cool to get. $4 each for the caps. This was from Horizon Sportswear in Madison Heights, Michigan. This is another cool one. These were all over the place, these little postcards, but here's a ticket to the race, as well as, this was what would have been on the keys. And it says 1979 Ford Mustang color pewter Speedway pace car, and then the VIN 480040. Let's see it right there. Then of course just some GA tickets to that race. Another thing I really want to find is one of these pace trucks. There was one for sale, I think in Oregon, a few years back, shortly after I bought my Mustang. Haven't been able to find one since, but would be awesome to pair with the pace car. Just a news article, 1979 Ford Mustang pace car with a heritage. And has a bunch of literature on the back about it. But looks like we're wrapping up here. So that is the documentation I have been preaching about for quite some time, and I hope you are just as impressed as I am, because this is history here, specifically about this car, and honestly Indianapolis as well. I believe Rick Mears won this race in 1979, so that would be amazing to speak to the Indy 500, the Speedway about it, about this car, about the history, about what I have. Some information may be incorrect since it was handwritten, hand typed, things like that. Not a primary source, but who knows if the Speedway even has records of this anymore. I've heard from other people trying to get information is that for some reason 79 was a weird year. I don't know why, but maybe they don't have some of this information. But hey, a guy can dream. But thank you for tuning in, and again, please like, comment, subscribe. You could follow my TikTok, which is just @wrenchwithjohn. Post some short form media there. Check out my YouTube shorts and stay tuned for more videos. I've got a pretty spicy one coming up. It involves some 3D printing and the pace car, so I hope you enjoy that one, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. So we'll see you next time. Thank you.